Warning, the following game is rated T for realistic-looking violence toward non-human-looking characters. Viewer discretion is advised.
Brendan, you need to stop talking sometimes and just take some time to listen. Even though you're the host of this darn show.
Super Couch Brotatoes!
Single serving.
Welcome back, Taters, to Brendan is the host of this darn show. So we better do that. This is a game. You know how I feel about this game. I love it, but it's very flawed, and that almost was dangerous. It's very flawed, and I love it anyway. That was a bad idea.
Someone there?
Yes, I am. My name is Jaden, in fact.
Hey.
That missed. This particular weapon is normally the most useful because you can do that. Oh, well. I need to quit trying to show things off in this game because anytime I try to do that, it doesn't work. I'm like, hey, check out this thing in this game. This thing is cool. Check out this thing in this game. Psych! Doesn't work. Because I'm trying to show you. That's just life, kids. Sometimes there are opportunities to be kept humble that get given to you when you try to show something off and it doesn't work the way you want it to. That's an opportunity to, evaluate and be like, what was my hope in showing that to that person? Was I hoping to inflate myself? Maybe I should be humble, like Kendrick said. That was rude. That was not the guy I meant to kill. But you know what? I was going to kill him anyway, so you know what? It all works out in the long run. What? How did you not? Is it because I'm using the quick attacks? Probably because I'm using the quick one. Am I using the quick one? Yeah, I am. See, small slashes. You know what? Stop running. Woo! That was dangerous. How? How does this, how did that not do what it should? That's the real question, Taters, that everybody wants to ask sometimes. I hate you. That's not a question, but sometimes that's also something that people want all the time. Sometimes all the time. That made sense. All right. Ah! No! Rude! Don't shoot me in the back. No! I don't like that. That's mean. I get it. You're programmed to do so. Oh, hey. Here's my first opportunity to use my force absorption that I decided to... Gosh. In theory. Gosh! What the what? Hold up now!
You can't hide.
This sucks. You know what? I'm gonna just load the last save point because that was stupid. That was so dumb. There's no reason that should have happened how it did. But anyway, see, force absorption is really useful against guys like that who try. You. Guys like that who only have force-based combat. They don't have any melee weapons, any ranged weapons. All they have is force. A lot of time. The last time I played through this, I ignored like every single shield generator, and then I complained when I wasn't finding one. I'm paying slightly more attention this time. That may have something to do with the fact that I'm slightly more awake this time. Possibly. You know, that helps. Being alert is important when you're trying to play video games that contain complex elements. Quote of the year. No, never mind. My quote of the year was already made this year in another episode. Maybe you could go ahead and flash back to it real quick.
You guys are stupid. I don't like you.
Wasn't that hilarious? Here come the 4 droids. Here comes the sun. Do. Yeah, here. All right, so here comes the guy that I'm trying to capture for being, you know, a bad criminal dude who manufactures evil droids. But anyway, oh yeah, force absorption is also really useful against some of the more like elite, some of the more elite cultists, with lightsabers and stuff, force skills. I can't push that off. Dang it! I was curious if these items could be interacted with. Ow! Anyway, see, this is what I'm talking about. This boss encounter is literally just a waste of time. There's no good way to go about this. You don't feel like you're applying skills that you learned. You feel like you're waiting a lot. You feel like all you're doing is standing here waiting for them to drop their shield so you can finally attack, and it's obnoxious, especially when that happens. When that happens, it's really annoying sometimes, you know? Ah! Like most everything in this game, I feel like these guys could have some potential if applied correctly, but it just feels so... Shoot! It just feels so unnecessarily padded. The way that they're programmed just is frustrating. Honestly, like, here, you know what? You know what? You guys are annoying. Shoot! That is exactly what they're doing. Okay. There was at least that, and that's a strategy that I've tried employing on this a lot, is putting down trip mines for these things, because they run in, and in theory a trip mine could be really useful. The problem is if they have their shields up, they can't move when they have their shields up, can they? But the problem is, there we go. This is going so much more smoothly. Brendan, learn to shut up sometimes and just let a good thing be a good thing without having to comment on it, because when you do, you tend to jinx it, just so you know. In case you hadn't learned that. Why am I so self-deprecating this session, even? That seems unnecessary. Anywho, but yeah, so it seems like it would be a decent strategy, you know, using the find me in the Alps. Not that. Using, gosh dang it! Using the trip mines as a potential way to knock them down, but every time I try employing it, I just end up wasting trip mines. It's rarely ever as effective as it should be. Again, every time I try to get creative in how I do these things, it feels like the game wants to give you the illusion of complexity and variety in the combat by offering you all these weapons and stuff, but in execution, they just want you to run around swinging a lightsaber. And even with all of the potential combos and maneuvers and stuff that you have access to, you never find use for most of those maneuvers and combos. They just end up being something that's like, hey, this is a cool flashy thing. Don't you like the fact that this is a feature that you can do? Like, there's no, like I said, there's no practical way to employ the roll attack. There are very few times where you're actually presented with a place where it's like, yeah, this would be an effective maneuver to avoid an attack and then follow that up by, gosh dang it, there's an element I'm talking about, an instance, an event, an example of what I was talking about. That's the phrase that I was going for. My point being,
Teach a Jedi to break into.
You were saying?
Now, let's talk about these assassin droids.
What was I saying?
Okay.
Where is your factory?
Hidden on Nar Shaddaa.
My point being,
I'll tell you where it is.
the illusion of complexity. Yeah, there are no points that it really offers where a roll attack would be an
You're
effective
coming with me.
dodge maneuver followed by an offensive
Based on
maneuver.
the information
It
you
just
got from
it
Ragno,
seems impractical.
a
It's so
publication raided the
slow.
droid factory on
It's
Nar
really
Shaddaa
useless.
and
I've
shut it
tried
down.
incorporating a
Good work,
lot of
Jake.
these things in combat, and very rarely do they actually have any proper effect.
Luke's coming
Every
up
now
with a
and then
plan
some
for
of your
tracking
jump
down the
attacks will be
disciples of
somewhat
Ragnos,
useful,
but it may take some
but
time.
generally speaking,
If you want, you can
like
take
I said,
one
it just
more
feels
mission.
like
Otherwise,
it's
miss
there
the
to
audience
provide the
chamber.
illusion of complexity rather than actually being a properly complex combat system.
Master Pixar has asked me to inform you that you are
I don't
not
know.
to engage the
I
madness
love
of
this
the cult.
game. It's just,
He would like you only to determine
yeah.
if the
Anywho,
disciples of Ragnos are on the planet and using it as a base.
thanks for letting me know. Anywho, we'll get to this particular level on the next one. Later, taters.